How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Loose Cannons podcast. Episode 2. Love for episode 1. Listen, it hasn't gone on. How can it go unnoticed? A crazy amount of love, the likes, the views, the comments. Listen, I wanted to do comments of the day today. I think it's going to be a difficult one considering how many comments there were on that show. But we will pick a few out for sure because it's well deserved. But listen, I want to start by saying love for the love. I said it on my match reaction, on my match preview for the Fulham game. But I'm saying it here because it matters most here because we launched something new, a brand new product, and you all have taken to it well. The changes you've accommodated like we've had to, and continue showing that same love, people. And hopefully we can continue bringing you what you want to see, what you want to hear after each and every Arsenal result, before each and every Arsenal game. As you can see, we've got our first guest of the Loose Cannons podcast series in the building. And it made sense to keep it in the family. And by keeping the family, you should know the big six, what we do over there. You should know about Tobes, but forget about Tobes because it's not about Tobes. It's about Tossin in the building. Tossin, what are you telling me, my bro?
I feel very honored to be the first guest on this esteemed pod. I feel very honored.
Come on, G. Come on. Appreciate you coming on, bro. And accommodating for the 8 a.m. Sunday recordings, Jordan.
Man, just blow me up. Man, just blow me up.
To be honest, this suits Tossin, though. He likes the 8 a.m. Sundays. He's like you, Jordan.
There you go. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
And we got James back in the building as well, as always, people. We're hit the like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes nice and early. Make sure you are subscribed. Individual channel links are in the description below, including Tossin's. He's not been as active as we all would have hoped, or he would have hoped, but you know, a conversation off air just now. Hopefully he will be more active moving forward. So go show him some love and make him be active by leaving some comments on his channel too. And big up the community. I saw Coolest Disabled. The target was 1K and we've nearly touched 2K on the Coolest Disabled. So let's not stop there, people. Show Jordan's channel some love. Coolest Disabled in the comment section in the description below.
Let's go 50K. If we can get 50K by next week, I'll love all you guys 10 times more. Let's just keep going. You know what I mean?
I mean, dreaming is, people do say dream big. They do say dream big. I mean, Lee asked for 50K about 3 months ago on the Forever Pod, and I think he's going backwards on it. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Small steps, 5K, 10K, and we'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving. James, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for ordering this 8 a.m. because I know we had other potential time slots, but we brought it in early because I've had some surprise birthday plans sort of thrown my way. So yeah, I'm turning the big 30. So I've just been enjoying I don't know if you guys caught my match reaction on Gooniverse News. I'm just walking through Covent Garden, just sort of guiding my family while trying to, you know, bring some sort of coherent conversation around Arsenal. But you know what? Especially when it's your birthday, you just want them to win and keep it moving. Just don't ruin anything, Arsenal, please. So it was good. Had a nice night. Happy we won. And then I just appreciate you guys with this early start because it allows me to just enjoy the rest of my Sunday and Monday. And then Tuesday's another big one. So yeah, we're in the thick of the season now. We're top of the league.
So 2 things. First of all, happy birthday, bro.
Happy
birthday, brother. The second thing, so technically, this isn't my doing, this 8 a.m. start. This one is on you. Just want to clarify.
This one's on me.
Okay.
This one's on me.
It ain't never on me. It ain't never on me.
That's true.
8 a.m. start.
My fault.
Nah, it's not Tossin. I get it. I wish I was one of them guys that, could wake up at 6 a.m., be done with gym by 7:20 in the morning, having oats and quinoa seeds at 7:45, and then maybe an avocado at 11. I wish I was that guy, but there's only a few Tobes in the world, if I'm honest with you, and I'm not one of them.
I track it. I wake up early anyway, man. I track it on my watch. I wake up early. No brag, but I wake up early.
Yeah, you and Tobes, your fitness. That's what you two should do, Mr. Motivators. If you're from the 90s, you'll remember Mr. Motivator. If you two do Mr. Motivators and do a routine and just do that star jumps on the videos and whatnot, I'm telling you two will have get Tobes in the lycra outfits and get him doing some dances.
We need Turkish to do his own morning routine. Do you remember the one that went viral on TikTok, the Ashton guy?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Morning routine.
Very long.
Rough teeth, beard oil, all of that sort of good stuff.
Do you remember he'd show the time cuts, and he'd be diving into the pool at 7 a.m. and then landing in the pool at 7:03. Like that was genius. We need Turkish's version of that.
When that was going viral, I was close to doing one as well, just as a parody, because my mornings are so different to that. It was all mad. But yeah,
that was so good.
It never happened. And as you can see, people, if you can't see, I say as you can see, I hope you do see, we are available on all audio platforms now: Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music. We should be on all the majors, and we should be on all the minors too. If you can't find us, because there are quite a few pods worldwide that are titled Loose Cannons, the Loose Cannons, American football in particular, keep searching, keep scrolling. I'll put specific links in the description, so when you click that, you can follow us on those audio platforms. But when you do follow us, hit the 5-star, leave a little comment. I'm not too sure what that does, but here it does a lot for the algorithm, so I'm sure that there it does something too. So if you're an audio listener, which I know a lot of you are, then we are available there, people. And just a quick heads up, we are recording this prior to Liverpool playing Man United at Anfield. Reason being because of James's birthday. We've had to fit this pod in between. Big up James, big 30th, big birthday, big milestone. But usually we'll be covering the game week in total in terms of results. We see a lot of love, not just from Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, United fans in the comments too. So we partly want to accommodate for the wider community that, you know, have either followed us for a little while, followed us over, and are following us now, supporting us now. So yeah, bear in mind it's before that Liverpool game, but moving forward, we'll be recording after every game that matters for Arsenal, and Liverpool matter at this moment in time. So yeah, lads, a big win. I mean,
huge.
You know, it's a big win, 1-0 away. You know, much has been said about the performance, but you know, the more I've slept on it, the more I thought about it. It was more of a hard-fought win, in my opinion, than one that I look at the performance and say, oof, you know, we could have done more. I think Fulham done very well in that midfield, especially in that first 30 minutes. We were struggling. Not only Eze, who's been picked out creatively, but I think in general, Eze, Rice, and Zubimendi were getting broken down and shut down a lot in that central third, which we had to work around for the majority of that game. Harry Wilson causing us a few problems in that first 30 minutes and a couple of times in the second half. But coming out with the 3 points at a ground where, again, like Newcastle, like West Ham over the last few years, you could call it a bogey team, a bogey ground. We've passed it with somewhat flying colours. Tosin, let's start with you. We know you watched the game. You've said it's a massive 3 points. What was your takeaway from it? How are you feeling, you know, the morning after?
Honestly, man, it's like, I agree with you. I feel like the win, it feels better and better, because, I mean, I saw a stat. I think Fulham didn't have a shot on target the whole game at home. Like, that's mad to me. You know, I feel like, especially the fact that we've not won there for the past 2 seasons, and the past 2 seasons they've played pretty much exactly the same way, and they tried it again. For me, what I like is that I just like the fact that we're exercising all of these demons of the past seasons. You know, you think about West Ham, you think about Fulham, you think about Newcastle. These are matches where the team don't find a way to get the result, but they got the result. 1-0 it's a huge win, because people were saying, performance, but Fulham played well, man. For me, the shape they had in that first half, like you could just see it. They weren't pressing at the right moments, but they were staying back. And then as soon as the ball comes into our midfield, they were at us. I thought it was a great win. I was really, really pleased, and a clean sheet as well, man. Away from home, bro. Back to the top of the league. It's a great win, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. James, before we go into Jordan's negatives, I'm wary of where the conversation goes with Jordan. But James, it's a new pod. Maybe I shouldn't label him the same Jordan as the other. Give him a few episodes, people. He'll be back.
That's right. That's right.
James.
Yeah, I like the way you both put it there, Turkish and Tosin, that it maybe felt at the time like a bad performance in which we kind of got away with it, and actually is now turned more into a really hard-fought win at a difficult place to go against a team that played really well. I definitely see it more as the latter. I think if you're breaking the game down for 25, 30 minutes, I thought we were under the cosh. We were sort of just a lot of sloppy passes, a lot of running back. You know, I'm always nervous when our players are running back towards goal. I'm not talking just sort of sidestepping backwards. I'm talking sprinting back towards our own goal. And it felt like there was a lot of that. There was a lot of Saliba covering for Gabriel, then the other way around, the defense being pulled apart. But almost a bit like that Man United game, but it went on for longer at Old Trafford. But I gave the team credit on the day at Old Trafford for all just kind of fighting individually and coming through, even though cohesively we didn't look all that. What we did from minute maybe 25, 30 was actually as a collective kind of come through it, get back on the ball and settle. And then while we weren't creating a lot, Fulham did nothing from the 25th, 30th minute onwards. We had control, but we were hardly scintillating, exciting, or sort of doing too much. But, they're a good team too. Now, they had injuries, their players come off, and that disrupted them. We've got to acknowledge that there were other factors that went in our favour. But, when you look at that Calafiori disallowed goal, what a finish, by the way. What a touch from Trossard as well. That was kind of a little reminder that Fulham have kind of been the better team, but we've got match-winning quality on the pitch. And we had that in abundance in Trossard, in Eze, in Saka, in weirdly Calafiori too. And
he might be our best finisher. Sorry to cut you, but I've seen enough strikes now. I'm not just saying goals from Calafiori. I've seen enough strikes. Even the second half volley he had where he had to get over it and it just went over. Keeper would have saved it if it was on target. But his technique is, I think, second to none in the side when he's given a chance in front of goal.
Right and left foot as well.
Yeah.
And he shoots on sight. He doesn't waste time. He shoots
on sight. About, yeah.
Yeah, there's something... when we signed him, we knew he was a centre-back that could step into midfield. I didn't realise he'd be this kind of marauding left-back who could do all this. But look, second half, Arsenal came out on fire. I did think there was a much quicker start. And do you not think for 5 minutes, there was just kind of like suddenly Saka's... I know Saka was tearing Sessegnon apart all game, to be fair. But there was just kind of that moment where... What happened, sorry?
Trossard back post, second half.
Trossard back post, and then Saka, that kind of it trickled across the penalty area, and then they cleared it. I thought, okay, cool, you've come out a bit livelier. Okay, so start on fire is probably a bit strong, but I thought, all right, there's a lift here. And then ultimately, it's a set piece. I got to be honest, guys, VAR wound me up again massively yesterday. I think it's the exact same conversation post Newcastle. I don't care what the rule is, but either the Saka one's a penalty or there's two on Gyökeres. And for me, one of they could easily be penalties too. And I thought there was total inconsistency that all went against Arsenal, if I'm honest. But we found a way and we won. And, I don't mind set pieces bailing us out when we've played great football away at Newcastle, great football at home against West Ham. And I know that Arsenal have shown that side to their game, a bit more transition this season. So I don't mind that. Gyökeres will talk about. I actually thought he did some good things with his back to goal, but the finishing wasn't quite there, but he did all right. So yeah, I'm happy. 3 points. And it is 2 weeks without having played as a collective. They've come back from wherever they've been. Fulham, not easy. You take it and on you go.
On you go, Jordan. Overall thoughts with the 3 points and moving on to Anfield. And when I say moving on to Anfield, I mean going to watch the next game with without pressure on our shoulders. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, man. I agree with Tosin that the turning around of points from teams that last year hurt us, I've been impressed by. Fulham ain't the best team in the world, but they're not crap. And to go there and get a win, I think is not to be sniffed at. To your point about today's proceedings, I said on the last pod, I spoke about pressure. I'm not convinced yet that this team, Arsenal, can deal with pressure when it really matters. This was another example of that. Pressure, win your game before Liverpool. So Liverpool now have to go to United. They have to win. They just have to win. And Arsenal have done that. For once, it's not us in a situation of having to win. It's Liverpool having to win. We've done that. So I want to big up Arsenal for handling business in that way. I got my clean sheet. I love my clean sheets. And I'm just loving how we've gone back to 3 seasons. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago where we're not only not conceding goals, we don't concede chances and shots. You can't even get a shot against us. So I'm loving that we're back to that particular defensive setup. I do think the first half, it feels like we're still wasting halves because for most of that first half, I didn't think we were very good offensively. There's too much still ponderous passing for passing sake. There's still a lack of tempo in the passing, which it really annoys me. and it feels like, and I'm going to repeat a point that I made a few weeks back, that it still feels at times we don't know what we're meant to be doing. We're still relying on we're going to do 1-2. Okay, just do 1-2, or give it to Saka, he'll beat his man, or go long. It still feels a little bit off the cuff. I don't think we know what we're meant to be doing with the ball where we have teams set up in front of us. I think the teams press us, we're fine. We have the technique, we have the space, the players to really pass through teams. But when teams sit back, it still feels like we're a little bit like, okay, pass to you, pass to me, pass to you, pass to him, without really hurting teams. So that for me is still really, really annoying and frustrating. The set piece goal doesn't bother me either. I mean, I think because we played better in the second half, I don't mind winning with a set piece. It's only problematic for me when we're not creating chances and we rely on a set piece that I'm a little bit like, you got to create chances. I think we did create a couple of chances. I won't go into individual players. There's a few players I want to pick up on, but I don't think Calafiore is our best finisher. I think that's still Trossard, but it is concerning for me that our left back is a better finisher than our centre forward. But we'll get there.
Trossard.
I think Trossard's still our best finisher.
I think it's between Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka, to be honest.
I had Marino in there.
Even Marino. I think Trossard's better than all three of them. I think he's better than all three of them.
Interesting.
I think Trossard's our best finisher still, but Calafiore is a brilliant finisher.
No, Trossard, he won it for us, and I was saying maybe take him off at half-time, bring Ethan on, put Eze on the left, because Eze on the right, they're just something about it. I'm not the judgment's not cast over one game. Do you know what I mean? But I much prefer Eze floating in from the left-hand side than I do seeing him pick up the ball on the right-hand side. Yeah.
And just quick, Joe, final point. James referenced the touch for the Calafiore goal. It's another sexy touch for me. It reminded me of the finish that he scored against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Do you remember? Outside of the foot, straight.
Who scored it?
Trossard scored at Stamford Bridge, a late goal. Was it last year?
Yes.
Last year.
Yeah.
And that touch for Calafiore, set up Calafiore, was a similar kind of execution.
Saka at the back post, outside of the boot. I mean, one's a finish and one's an assist, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's clutch, Trossard. I had to mention this on my match reaction that, like, there's something so weird about him, because I was also saying, get him off the pitch. Like, but in those moments, he has it. Like, he just knows where to be. Like, I was trying to recall the games. Old Trafford, we win 1-0 because of him. Stamford Bridge, you just mentioned, it's him who gets the equaliser. Bayern Munich, he gets the equaliser at home. Like, how often is he the guy?
Everton, 2 years ago.
Everton, 1-0 last season.
Villa.
He's clutch. He's got the goals and the assists, man.
But we say all that, I still don't want him starting games. I know people in the comments will be saying, oh, how can you complain about a guy that got the winner? Two things can be true. He got the winner, but I just don't think he should be starting for Arsenal. I think he's an impact player. But big him up.
I think the same can be. I think that's maybe the struggle we're having with Martinelli and Trossard. A lot of their best performances are coming off the bench at the moment, and neither are really, what's the saying, grabbing the ball by its horns when given the start. Every time they start, it's a bit flatter to deceive, but when they're coming off the bench or moments like that, you're thinking integral, vital, which is fine. I mean, Gabriel played a big part in the goal as well, which I'm happy about, because first 10-15 minutes he was very sloppy. A lot of Fulham's openings were coming off, poor passing from Gabriel, which is unusual for him. Listen, none of them led to shots on goal. But I did mention Fulham had more of we had the possession, but Fulham had the moments. And I see a few comments on my match reaction saying moments, they never had a shot on target. They should have had shots on target. Harry Wilson was putting it just wide every single time. Now, we all watched the same game here. There was moments there where I was kind of nervous in the first 25-30, but Gabriel again for that set piece. As much as Trossard has to be there to put it in, Gabriel's the one that gets the flick on. He's the one that jumps highest. He's the one that's hungry for that. But I mean, in terms of set pieces, you've mentioned it, Jordan, tossing, James, couldn't care less how we win it, just win it.
Initially, I was just like, okay, great, another set piece. But then I thought about it, I was like, it's a weapon. So many other teams are using it. And look, at the end of the day, the team, Arsenal, was still figuring, we're still figuring things out, man. And
Mm.
people are talking about how Liverpool, they haven't clicked yet. I don't think we've clicked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think we've clicked at all. I look at us in our attacking play. I look at the fact that sometimes we go long. Sometimes it's at one point, maybe we started the game, we were trying to go long, and then all of a sudden it just became this recycled football. Then it kind of went back to last season where we give the ball to Saka and we let him beat like 4 or 5 guys. There's no underlapper, there's no overlapper, and then or you just give it to Timber and he just dribbles, and he just tries to find an opening. Like, I think the team is still figuring stuff out. So the fact that 53%, great, that's 3% more than half our goals. I don't mind. We're winning games. Like, the team are still creating chances at the end of the day. So it's not that deep, man. How many teams are doing long throws now, trying to maximize set pieces? Like, you're seeing Calafiori getting pulled up for taking Newcastle's towel, for goodness sake. This is just ridiculous now. It's so stupid. What about when other teams are doing this stuff and no one says anything? I don't see the problem with it at the moment, to be honest.
I'm not in the I don't care how we play, just win camp. I know most people are. I do think you have to play well. I heard a lot of people last night saying, I don't care if we win the league. I think it's important how you win. I think it's important to find a way that you can rely on in terms of playing and creating chances. And I think we did enough of that to make me, as I said, satisfied with the set piece. It's just when people say, if we win every game by a set piece, I don't care. There'll be games where you need to create and set piece ain't going to bail you out sort of thing. So whilst I agree it's a weapon, I don't think we should be relying on set pieces. It's one weapon in our armory, but first and foremost, you have to be able to find ways. I agree with Tosin. I don't think we've found our groove yet. Our midfield still isn't working for me. It's not working yet for me, but it will. I think it will.
I think we're the most tactically impressive team in the league. I really.
Yeah,
we can mix it up.
I mean, tactically to control, dominate, to nullify, to squeeze the life out of. Maybe on the attacking front, tactically, you might look at. I mean, we've even scored a hell of a lot of goals, but let's say maybe a Bournemouth, for example, the way Raiola set up the transition.
But Turkish, sorry to cut you, Turkish and James, are we tactically good, or is our defense so good that the fact that we're not offensively good is bailing us out?
So the reason I said
it's a bit of the two, because I watched Crystal Palace. Some of the attacking play I saw from Palace against Bournemouth. I watched Bournemouth against Tottenham. Some of that attacking play, and I'm thinking. I remember when Arteta came to Arsenal. I mean, I remember the season we won the FA Cup. I remember the goal we scored against Man City, back to front. Like, I remember 22-23 season, even some of the 21-22 season, some good football. I remember Watford away, some really nice one touch. I'm just thinking, why are we not doing that? I get that set pieces are a weapon, and like I wasn't saying I don't care. By the way, I was in this situation with Fulham playing away from home, where they're clearly trying to stifle us. If we get a set piece goal, and we win a tough game, I don't mind that. But against better teams, this won't cut the mustard. We absolutely need to be a lot more inventive in the way we play. And that was probably the only thing that frustrated me yesterday, because I'm just thinking, I see Eze, technician. I see Saka, technician. I see Zubimendi, technician. I see Rice, to an extent, technician. Why are we not able to put together moves where someone can just one touch, pass around the corner, move? Why are we not doing that? I don't know what's happened here. And don't tell me Arteta can't coach and attack, because I've seen you do it, bro, in previous seasons.
Yeah.
There's something going wrong here.
So I agree, but I think, like, last season, and I appreciate we had injuries, I looked at it more as like there were sustained games. Like, how many times did we talk last season about how few games we actually enjoyed watching from Arsenal? I honestly think this season we might have already matched how many of last season's games we enjoyed watching. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, this season already, we've kind of seen a level up. Yeah. And I do think it's, Liverpool, City, Arsenal. I'm not trying to discount any other teams, but we're probably the 3 teams in the league that the opposition prepares for the most in terms of stopping us. With every other team, there's probably an element of, we're going to do this to stop them, but we're going to do this to hurt them. Now, of course, there's that when they're prepping with us as well. But I imagine so much goes into, guys, we need the rotations, Gyökeres' strength, Saka on the touchline, Eze on the inside. Now, there's probably so much that goes into trying to stop us. And with that, there's so much we need to overcome to stop teams. So I think it's a balance of we could be doing more. And when you look at yesterday, we were so sloppy in possession. We weren't even attempting the ball through the line. So clearly there's things we're falling short on too. But you mentioned, Bournemouth twice, or Palace against Bournemouth, and then Bournemouth against Tottenham. But on paper, having not watched those games in great detail, I would imagine they were quite open games for them, in which the space was there to play that kind of football. And I just wonder how often Arsenal really find themselves in a position to kind of do that.
Yeah, but teams did that to Liverpool last season. One of the things these were one of the reasons why I said last season, you know what? This team, Liverpool, they actually deserve to win the league, because you could see games where teams were coming to Anfield and trying, but Liverpool were overwhelming them. Quick passes, trying to do stuff. I feel like with us, like, it's weird. When it's 0-0, we play like we're 4-0 up. It's weird to me. Like, slow, a bit pedantic, predictable, side to side, recycling. And for me, what frustrates me at times is like I could get it if we had loads of injuries like last season, but you actually have the squad. You have the players. You have a guy like Gyökeres who's going to make runs. He's just waiting for someone to do like a De Bruyne pass. We got people who can do that in the squad. So why are we not seeing that? So that's what I'm saying.
But that's so interesting. I just really quickly Googled it. I remember Jamie Carragher doing some analysis on Liverpool going into this season. And he said for all the goals they scored and the football they played, they didn't actually win that many games, like sort of 2-3-0 by half time, or have more than a 1-goal lead in a lot of these games. And just looking now quickly, Liverpool won the title scoring less goals than we finished second with the year before. And I think if we just asked everyone really quickly, or we asked the viewers, they probably would all say that last season's Liverpool were a better attacking outfit than we were in 23-24 with Havertz and Trossard or whatever. So I kind of get what you're saying, but I feel like because their style is so front-footed and relentless, it maybe comes across as better, like, because they're a bit more chaotic. It probably comes across as like they're doing more, if that makes sense. I'm not saying we attack anything like Liverpool last year. We don't. But I also think there's just different methods to attacking, if that makes sense. Yeah.
When you're lacking something that another team might have in abundance, you start thinking, well, about that, forgetting what they lack that we have in abundance. And and
I said we're the most tactically impressive team in the league. And what I mean by that is when we went 1-0 up yesterday, or actually, let me go back a step. At 0-0, I was thinking, oh, the football's not there, the chance creation isn't there. But I thought, well, Saka might provide a moment, Trossard might provide a moment, we might have a set piece. And if we do nick a goal, I'm really confident in this defense. I don't know how many teams can fall on that. I don't know how many teams can go, oh, plan A is not working. But it's all right. I think we've got a few other things that might get us over the line in some way. And, we can flip from just defending our box, relentlessly. When 9 minutes was shown up, I just don't think the players panicked. I went, all right, we're just going to have to do this a bit longer. Yeah. And I reckon, honestly, they could have played another 20 minutes, 30 minutes and held out like that without tiring. They were so drilled. But also, when I look at how the game ended, the better chances still fell for us to actually nick a second more than it did Fulham to get a winner. So I'm probably sounding ultra positive, the beauty of a birthday. I wasn't impressed by Arsenal, but I didn't need to be. I'd seen enough pre-international break to be quite calm on that front. Just needed to know we could win and that we were focused, the team were fighting. And my word, they're fighting this season, which after 3 seconds in a row, is actually testament to their character that they've kind of come again to a degree.
The best chance in the game was in the first half where we went from front to back. I forgot who passed it, but there was a chance. It was a long diag in the first half. I forgot how it ended up, actually. I'm trying to remember now.
Our best chance in the first half was probably Gyökeres, no? Eze to Saka in behind.
No, there was a chance where we did a long diag. I forgot who passed it, but we it was just a diag, like 50 yards. And then
Trossard, right?
Was it Trossard?
Yeah, because that was on all first half. The diagonal to Trossard, all of the first half.
Yeah.
I think that shows... it may have been like Saliba or something, but there was space there all the time.
Yeah.
That's what was frustrating about Trossard, because he had the space to work into, but he just never. He wasn't beating his man. He was struggling, but lo and behold, match winner. Jordan, you mentioned off air. You know, you want to talk about a certain someone. You've already, mentioned him in passing in terms of a striker.
Yeah, I mean,
there's another game and another no goal.
Well, what I'll say is this. So I always like to try and give players a couple of years. I don't get excited by like one good season when a player comes to my club or any club. I like to kind of give like 2 years. I've seen too many players have a really good first year and then after that just fall off. And vice versa, you know, players have a really poor first year and then have Dennis Bergkamp for the first 3 quarters of his first season at Arsenal. He was not good. He was not good, right? And we know what he went on to do. So I like to try and not get too hyped either way, right off someone or get gas over somebody, right? I try and give people a chance. So 2 years is normally my barometer. Give me 2 good solid years and I'm like, okay, I can make a judgment on you. But my issue with Gyökeres is, unlike with Dennis Bergkamp, the output from Bergkamp, because I remember it vividly from Bergkamp in that first half of the season when he joined Arsenal, was 0. Like there was no the assists, the goals. It was like, yo, what's going on here? But you could still see there was class. You could still see there was a class player there. I'm seeing nothing from Gyökeres. And look, we haven't got to re-litigate all of my points pre-season about signing Gyökeres. I didn't want him. He's my striker, so I want to give him a chance. But even the 2 chances that he had, there's an element of, and maybe he's just like low on confidence, right? He had a couple of international breaks, so maybe he's poor on confidence. But there's an element, guys, of just hit the target or just get a strike off. Because in the first half, the first chance he had, really he should be cutting it across. I forgot it was at the back post, and he's got a shot, and the striker, and keep him in a good save. You're never going to score that. He's too far out, and there was a better option. But I think he's thinking, I've just got to get a goal. So let me get a shot off. And there was a chance in the second half, similar, where
there's something about that makes sense to me. You're a striker. You've been starved of opportunities all season, not just generally this game.
You're not scoring from there. That first one in the first half, you're not scoring from there. Harry Kane's not scoring from there. You're just not going to score from there. Just because you're in the box that doesn't mean the best option is always to shoot. I think a striker with a bit of confidence, maybe, or a bit more quality, recognizes this angle for this far out. I'm not scoring here. So back post or even hold it up. I guess my overall point is that I think we could win the league this season in spite of Gyökeres rather than because of Gyökeres.
That's true.
The supply we could talk about not being particularly great. Again, he won 2 flick-ons. So I'm not even judging this guy by goals anymore. I'm like, okay, you're not scoring goals because we're not feeding you. The attacks are working itself out. But even everything else, I'm just like, I'm not sure what you're doing, bro. And when I start looking at Havertz's return dates, you know it's kind of peak. Do you know what I mean? And I know people will say, oh, you're going too early on him. I'm just not seeing a striker that I think is gonna do anything particularly special for this club. I'm just not really a fan. And he'll score goals. He's a good striker. I'm just not seeing an elite striker, guys. I'm not seeing it. Newcastle, I thought he was really good, despite not scoring. I thought his movement there was really, really good. He had a good game against Newcastle. I'm just not seeing enough. And
one thing I want, like, you see, because Havertz's name has come up a lot now. Yeah, what is it that people think Havertz is gonna bring back to this 11? Like, because
I tell you,
he wasn't a big goal scorer, but people would argue that when he was there, we'd score goals. We've scored 15 goals this season in 8 games. I mean, our goal tally is pretty decent in spite of, like you said, our striker. But that's what we were doing with Havertz. Now, I want to caveat this as well by saying I understand Havertz a bit more now in terms of a lot of the frustration I was finding with our attacking play over the last couple of years. I would focus more on Havertz because I just didn't feel like he's the right striker for us. Since, Gyökeres has come in, we're facing the same exact issues. He's a very different striker. So I know it wasn't just the Havertz, for example. I never said it was just him. I always said tactically Arteta needs to work it out. But, we've mentioned the midfield not working, for example. We could have probably mentioned that a few times this season in chance creation. So with Gyökeres, people are going to say I'm making excuses for him. And maybe that's the case. I had a lot of eggs in the Gyökeres basket in the summer. I'm not quite giving up yet. But I'm disappointed
I-
he hasn't scored. Yeah,
Just before you come in, sorry, James. Sorry, just my final point would be
No,
to
good.
answer your question, James. Turkish. What is it about Havertz? Havertz is not an elite finisher. We needed to level up on Havertz with an elite finisher, in my opinion. So I'm not trying to make out like Havertz is this like amazing and do a revision of here of like Havertz is a great finisher, because he's not. He's probably not even a good a finisher as Gyökeres. Gyökeres is probably a better finisher, but he links to play better. I think his movement is better. I think although you mock the whole space invader thing, he does create space for others to do their damage. Now, you want to strike to score goals, first and foremost, of course. I'm just seeing nothing from Gyökeres. He runs, he works hard, all of that. I just see a guy that's not, it doesn't look elite to me. We've not got an elite striker. He's a good striker. He's not elite. And I just say, I think he'll score goals. But I think if we win this title, I think it will be in spite of him rather than because of him.
but like, if we look at a Newcastle or Bilbao, listen, what we work off, we haven't got much to work off. He's only played 8 to 10 games this season. But if you look at Bilbao and Newcastle, his better performances without a goal, he was stretching, linking up, and making space in a different way to Havertz. His runs in behind were allowing more space in the midfield for us to move the ball a bit more efficiently, a bit more directness. Odegaard in those couple games, the cameo against Newcastle, the Bilbao game, even the start of the West Ham game. I think he's just different. Listen, I don't think Havertz proved himself as striker. I don't think Gyökeres has proven himself as striker right now. But I think it's a bigger issue than just that position, if that makes sense. Because I still feel like, who said it? Tosin said we haven't clicked. And I think that's, your striker needs things to click as well.
Listen, we may be here in 3 months' time, Turkish, and he's got 8 more goals and he has clicked. That could well happen. And I would hold my hands up and say, look, he needed more time. But he didn't have a preseason. He's still getting used to the Premier League. He needs to get sharp. That excuse is slightly wearing a little bit thin now. And I think there's a bigger issue about our striker recruitment. We spent £170 million on strikers, and Gabriel Jesus is still our best centre forward. That is not good, in my opinion.
Was Havertz bought as a striker? That's the thing. He was bought as a midfielder.
Yeah.
No, true. But he's become a striker for us. Do you know what
fair.
I mean?
I don't think. I mean, I hear elite. Like, I don't think any Arsenal. I wanted Gyökeres over Sesko purely because Arsenal don't need they just need a good goal scorer. They just need someone who's going to finish in the box. And I think Gyökeres, I agree with you to an extent that he needs to show a bit more. But at the same time, I see it as, I don't even think this is a match sharpness thing it's just a guy that's getting used to a different league and playing with a different team. That's it.
Maybe.
I genuinely see that because with him, the way he plays is that he's learning. He's seeing, okay, cool, right? This is not Portuguese league. It's not. You have to be a bit more intelligent about your movement. I think they even highlighted it yesterday. You have to look even for the goal. Look at his movement. Why is Trossard there? That's where a striker's thinking, okay, cool. You know what? I'm gonna let these guys, and I'm gonna be here where the action happens. Trossard is there. That's intelligence. I don't think Gyökeres has figured that out yet. I think he smacks me as a guy. It's a mix of getting used to the league, but also low on confidence as well. He looks to me a guy that's just like, man, I need to go. For me, if I'm him, I think he may be paying a bit too much attention to social media and stuff. If I'm him, get off of social media, ignore what people are saying to you. You don't need to turn your comments off on Instagram. This is the game. This is what comes with the territory. You're playing for Arsenal. This is one of the biggest clubs in England, let alone the world. So, bro, this is not Sporting Lisbon. Get used to it, embrace the pressure, and just do what you're meant to do on the pitch. So for me, I think he's just getting used to it. He's gonna come good. I don't expect an elite player. I just expect a guy who's gonna finish off chances that we actually make if we're trying this whole playing to fine margins where we're not going to create that many chances. The chances that we do, I please pray that it falls to a goal scorer who's going to be in the box and finishes the chances off. So I think he's going to come good. I do agree with a lot of what you said, but
I hope so.
I think he'll come good, to be honest.
I think like there's a couple moments in the game yesterday I look at and think it goes the other way. People start saying things differently about you, and that's not even the shot in the first half, our best chance. I think he done okay with that. I get why he shot. He probably should have cut it back to ensure it going in. I understand it was a decent shot. It was a good save. But in the first 5-10 minutes, there was a ball over the top, and him and Anderson, I think, were going at it. And Anderson just beat him in terms of the physical battle, and he saw it out to the keeper. If Gyökeres wins that and toe pokes it in, you see the bully side of him. Second half now, that's where my frustration with him comes, is he done all that good work. You know, the defender headed it, he bullied him out the way, he took it down, and then his shot was terrible. And if that goes in, you see a striker that's willing to get physical, beating his defender, and then finishing it. The problem is he's not finishing it. So I think it's fine margins now. And I didn't know he turned off his Instagram comments and whatnot, but he did have that celebration beginning of the season where it indicated that, you know, he is taking that on board. Whether rightly or wrongly, I couldn't care less if you're on socials or not. Just don't let it affect you on the pitch. So he needs a goal for sure. I mean, James got it, maybe now is the right time to go to that penalty incident, because when I saw it, I said definite penalty, and I said, Gyökeres, I need you to bang this in.
Well, could I just say a few words on Gyökeres quickly? That, you know, I'm the guy in the summer that, you know, did the breakdowns on Sesko and said that he was a better fit, and thought that that was more the striker that actually fit what we needed to do. But if we were willing to adapt, to repeat my point for the 700th time, if we were willing to adapt, then Gyökeres was the guy I wanted. I don't know if it's just me. Well, it clearly is just me. I'm liking what Gyökeres is doing, guys. I actually do. I like what he's doing in an Arsenal shirt. I get that, like, we're expecting him to score goals, and he's only got 3 goals this season. What was that, Tosin?
You just gave me a stitch.
Sorry. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing. And no, like, he doesn't look a £65 million striker, and he doesn't look like a guy that's gonna like score you goals to win the title necessarily right now. But when I look at Arsenal, like, Trossard just hits that ball over the top first time because he knows that Gyökeres is going to cause havoc and make something happen. That time Saka drove inside and either rolled the ball into Gyökeres' feet or rolled it into a space for him to attack. We weren't accessing those spaces before. We weren't playing balls over the top. We weren't playing passes through the center of the pitch. We weren't finding a striker in behind. I get the finishing needs to be better. But I feel like Arsenal are attacking teams in different ways because Gyökeres is both making the runs to do it, but also holding defenders off and actually allowing us to access an area of the pitch we weren't before. But we saw in pre-season that this guy's technically not at the level of a lot of Arsenal players. But we knew that when we were learning about the player, we knew there was going to be something about him that wasn't quite right. So the question was Gyökeres going to allow us to improve as a collective? Because I promise none of us sat on this podcast, none of us sat wherever we were doing content, no one sat there and went, God, I really hope we sign Gyökeres so he gets the golden boot. No one said that. We said we hope we sign Gyökeres so we win the title, we play better attacking football, and we look more a threat. I think we look comfortably more a threat with Gyökeres up front than we did last season.
Facts.
The season before, all right, 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat, you know, and Havertz was great. But I just think we're accessing areas of the pitch that we weren't before. Now, look, when I'm seeing him sky one with his left foot over the, you know, over the bar, a couple of those where he did make those runs or kind of straight at Leno, I'm thinking, a bit frustrating. But then Martinelli, you know, on the ricochet, that's maybe 2-0. You're going, you know what? Gyökeres has kind of made that happen. I'm looking at the players around thinking, I think Saka's enjoying playing with him. And when Saka's drifting on the inside, he's not just looking up going, where are you people? I'm doing all on my own. He's often finding Gyökeres, and there's a little link up. There's something happening there. I don't think he's blowing me away, but guys, I didn't expect to be blown away by Gyökeres. I don't know if people expect a 35 goal a season striker. Maybe they did. I thought he'd score goals, but I knew that the general overall look of the player was going to be a little bit underwhelming. I think a lot of us did. But I actually think we look a better team for him up front. There'll be games where Havertz at his best, you go, oh, that's the link up. That's the things he do. But do you know how many times I watched Havertz last season and thought, man, like, I'm not sure I believe all this link up hype, all this, he drops in, he holds up the ball. There's moments I was going, he doesn't. Like, he's getting bullied. Like, the touch isn't there. Like,
getting bullied.
Yeah. Like, and people go, yeah, but Havertz is really technical. I go, is he? Like, he's got a cushion touch. He's got a very neat finish. He's got a little bit of guile. But I'm not seeing someone like turn when there's 3 players around him coming out with the ball, flicking the ball from one boot to the other, like
He's a
darting past
nuisance.
players. I don't see that.
Yes.
He's a nuisance, but he's had enough time to prove he's a nuisance, which is 2 years. And if after 2 years we're saying the best thing is you're a nuisance, then surely Gyökeres needs some more games to prove if he's anything more than a nuisance, which he hasn't been yet for defenders. But he's slowly but surely getting into that physical.
I think he has. I think Gyökeres is proving he's a real nuisance for the defenders, and they're really struggling to deal with him. Even if they are getting the win in some of these battles, it's taking 1-2 players to kind of deal with him. With Havertz, I think he's a nuisance in that. My word, he works unbelievably hard. And before the comments go crazy, Havertz is quite clearly a technical level above Gyökeres. There's no question. But I think we're talking about the all-round package. In front of goal, it's about this as much as it is your ability to do it. Every footballer at Premier League level is able to kick a ball. When you watch these guys, when you go see the game live and you see the way they're in the warm-up or they're spraying the ball from one end of the pitch to the other, you kind of stop and you go, my God, these guys are technically unbelievable. Every single one of them. They all know what to do with the football. A lot of it in front of goal is mentality and having your composure to do it. And Gyökeres is a very ruthless person in front of goal. Now, we haven't quite seen the cultured finish yet, but what we have seen is someone who, whenever he gets a sighted goal or there's a little bit of space, he's attacking it and he's getting shots off goal. And defenders are having to address the way they're defending him. And that's, in my opinion, making space for Saka to do things. So I'm not blown away by the guy, but I think he's having a positive impact on the team, personally.
I think people just need to outline their expectations, because I feel like with Arsenal players, people move the goalposts. Because I agree with you, when he came in, all of us were thinking, okay, great, we've got a finisher. So I'm going to judge him on finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care if you show me his touch map. I don't give a monkeys about that. What I care about is what he does when he does the good work in the second half and he has a clear opportunity in front of goal and then he skies it with his left foot. What I care about is what he does when Saka slips him in the first half on his right foot and he doesn't finish. That's what I care about. What I care about is him snatching at his chances against Olympiacos and West Ham, where on another day we could be talking about him on 6 more goals by now. That's what I want to judge him on. So I don't really care too much for all this other stuff. I just want to let a striker be a striker.
Yeah, I'm with you. 20 goals is the target, and I'm not budging from that. That is still the target. What's that? 3 and 8 now. So it's not looking great. It could be a lot worse. And he's got games coming up where you hope he's on the score sheet, but he's also gone through a couple of games where we've hoped he's been on the score sheet and it hasn't happened. On the penalty stuff, not to dwell on it too long, we still won the game. But does everyone think that was a penalty?
Yes.
Contact first, then the ball. Jordan.
Come on.
We know. This is why we got Jordan here, Tosin. Just when you need someone.
Please, Jordan, explain to me what's a penalty. Please tell me.
I thought it was a penalty in real time. I was like, he's taking him out. This inside the box, clearly, yeah. But people are saying, oh, because he gets the ball. We all agree he gets the ball. But the argument is, does his knee take out Saka's knee? I don't know if his knee takes out Saka's knee. There's contact. The knees definitely clash. I'm not sure. I'm being technical, and maybe I'm being pernickety here, but I don't know if his knee takes out Saka's knee. I think
what his knee done, though, Jordan. I don't know if you can agree to this. Is I wouldn't say takes out, but Saka's leg was going to take the next touch of the ball, and the defender's knee has impacted that next touch of the ball. And then he's touched the ball, if that makes sense. So he's the impact has moved Saka's foot out of the way of touching the ball, and then he's touched the ball. So
it's tight, it's close, right? I think the bigger issue is it shouldn't go to VAR.
Okay,
that shouldn't go to VAR. I don't think it's a penalty, but it shouldn't be going to VAR.
So you don't think it's clear and obvious, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So the penalty should stand, like Gyökeres in Newcastle. My frustration, I'm repeating the same points from Newcastle. They need to establish what counts as winning the ball, because
exactly
the Fulham defender touched the ball, but if he's not taking Saka out, Saka's drifting past him. So he's had to take Saka out to stop the Arsenal move. He's not won the ball. He's not one possession back for Fulham. And I don't think you always need to necessarily win possession back for a tackle to be deemed legal or whatever. But there needs to be some cleaner contact than just a slight toe poke of the ball, which hasn't remotely changed trajectory. And the thing is, if you're going to say, well, no, that's enough. It's enough contact. You technically touched it, so we're going to allow it. For me, the foot on the back of Gyökeres' ankle, that's a penalty then. Because Gyökeres has turned the guy, the foot's clashed with his ankle. I'm going, well, it's small. There's not enough in it. Is it enough to bring him down?
That was a penalty as well.
What's that?
That was a penalty.
Yeah.
Gyökeres one.
I would rather the Gyökeres one as a penalty than the Saka one. I'd rather you don't touch the ball, but you make contact with the player. I'd rather that's a penalty. But either way, they need to establish. Or you could flip it and go, yeah, but there's not enough contact. Well, then I'm saying, well, there's not enough contact on the ball to have deemed he's won it. The other one is when he had his arms around Gyökeres in the box. Like, what are we doing here, people? Like, they'll say it's off the ball, but just say, like, no, you're not allowed to do that. You can't wrap your arms around a player in the box. So I think on 3 occasions, I don't think Arsenal should get all 3. I think they need to establish a rule, and then that rule would determine which of those you get. But Arsenal should have had a penalty yesterday, no question. And I think we were just on the wrong end of 3 of them. Again, like, it's so frustrating after Newcastle. Like, you should see a decision that will happen at Newcastle and address it quickly. The PGM are, well, all right, this is how we're addressing these in future. But this whole picking and choosing when small contact counts and when it doesn't really winds me up, because we've missed out on 1, maybe 2 there.
It smacks of hypocrisy, because if these are not penalties, then why was the clash with João Pedro and Saliba last season? Why was that a penalty? Saliba touches the ball, but even me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. I can see why this is a penalty. You literally clash with the player. Like, I get the whole contact with the ball thing, but since when was a player being impeded from chance creating action, not in the box, not a penalty? I don't care if you touch the ball. If he does not touch Saka is getting a shot away or getting a crossing, regardless of the toe poke of the ball. It's the same thing with Gyökeres. He's away from Nick Pope. Regardless of whether or not Nick Pope touches the ball, Gyökeres is away from him, and he has an empty net to touch into. If Nick Pope does not clash with him, then he's scoring a goal. So why is that not considered a penalty? Just because someone gets like a toe, like we've seen challenges like that in the middle of the park where a player, I've seen so many times, even with Gabriel, where he comes through the back of a player just trying to be aggressive, and he takes out the player, but he actually gets the ball. But then the ref gives a free kick. So is that a foul too? Like, for me, I don't get it.
I think you guys put a good case forward. I mean, I'm not. I think it's close, so I'm prepared to be 1 round on this one. I'm not going to die on that hill. But I just thought the contact wasn't enough to clearly say that it impeded Saka to the point where he couldn't get a shot.
A question on this: do you think, because this has just come up in my mind now, so it might be nonsense, but over time and these decisions and the conversation around these decisions, a lot of it comes down to the slow-mo video that is applied to these moments. Do you think maybe there should be a rule that says you can't slow it down to a certain speed? It has to, the set speed you watch this back on has to be, pretty similar to the speed that it's, not the speed that it's played
I hear what you're saying,
but not the speed that is shown at, because then it just draws the person in to be like we said, Jordan, the first time we see it, that's a penalty. Then the second time we see it, that's a penalty. The third time, that's a penalty. The more you see it, it's like, oh, he did touch the ball. Oh, he did touch the ball, but he touched his knee. And you just start seeing different things the more you slow it down. And I just think that the game is not played at that pace, and a VAR wasn't brought in to judge decisions at that pace either, if that makes sense. Maybe that should be.
You're right, Turkish. It's ridiculous. You're right. We watched it. Oh, he's been taken out. The ref sees it and goes, I'm giving a penalty. And you watch it at full speed and look at it and go, look, whether he's touched it or not, he's absolutely wiped the guy out. And so it's taken to the very furthest layer of, but if it's really slow, he slightly touches it, and that's enough to go, yeah, we'll overturn it. It's like, what are we doing here, people? The PGR continue to be completely and utterly clueless. And Howard keeps going on these shows, looking a complete clown every time he does, justifying things that people then on Twitter just pick it up, recycle things he said a year or two ago just to prove that he's looking an idiot for what he's saying. And you sit there going, are we just giving them airtime? Like, is this what they want ultimately? For the clips to get generated, everything keep doing the rounds. It's just, I've been sick of the PGMOL for a long, long time. But I'm just, but you know, it's not the most sickening we've seen as an Arsenal fan, let alone in football or whatever. But for when it's in the same game, hypocrisy in the same game, and I'm sitting there going, but why do these fine margins matter for this, but they don't matter for that? You know, how do we know that GYOKERES for that slightest touch wasn't brought down? You know, and it was difficult for him to stay on his feet. It's a bit of contact, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, give the decision. It's like they're saying the bar's so high to give a penalty, but they don't want to have consistency in how they're refereeing those decisions.
Yeah, I mean, not to drag this point any further because we've got to move on, but I don't know if you saw the City game against Everton. Haaland had like 2-3 chances in the last 2 minutes, and one of them was a through ball where he took a touch around Pickford. Pickford absolutely just slides in, and Haaland could leave his foot out to get ball, and it would have been a penalty. He continues his run, gets the ball fizzles out. And then the question is, you know, should you be going down then if you can go down, and then it goes to dive in, and it's just a roundabout of nonsense. So
yeah, and unfortunately players should go down Turkish.
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
You should, right. Because unless you know 100% that staying up means you can roll into the back of the net, I think you should go down because they won't look at it.
Then you got Saka against Bayern Munich, and you think, well, he did go down. Do you remember that one? And then he didn't. He should have stayed up. So it's just so much inconsistencies across the board. You just don't know where it lands. But listen, this one didn't cost us. We got the 3 points. We're 4 above Liverpool, back above City. We can enjoy this Liverpool United game, knowing that come Monday morning, Sunday night. It was come on Chelsea 2 weeks ago. It's come on United today. You know, you have to have a bath after.
United are getting smoked today. But just before we move forward, guys, just quickly, just to give Saka some flowers, because
he's sensational.
I thought throughout the game he was good, but the second half, that it just reminded us that for all the players we've bought, for all the things that we're doing, he's still up. There's levels. There's levels, man. I think in that second half there were 5 take-ons. He taught Sessegnon the whole game, but the second half in particular, he just took him to school. 5 take-ons, 1 what we think is a penalty. There was a chip back post. I just thought it was vintage Saka again.
His passing. I was just saying to GYOKERES.
And his touch.
He could have had an assist. He was finding GYOKERES all the time. He was our most creative player in central spaces too. Saka was unbelievable, man.
There was 2 or 3. There was 2 or 3 times. Anyway, but there's 2 or 3 instances where his touch was just magic out of the sky. The way he just traps the ball. He's so strong. He looks small and quite skinny, but he's really strong. I just thought we should give him his flowers because I think in a game that wasn't particularly overly exciting, he was the one guy where you thought, okay, this is Saka from last season. Or
who's better than Saka?
I think Yamal's better
in world football. Yamal's better, yeah. Who else?
I think Salah's better,
marginally.
Salah's better. So you know, there's a couple of players on the right.
On the right, there's only 2.
Maybe the only 2.
They're the only 2, in my opinion. They're the only 2 in world football right now that, for me, are better than Saka.
And you're talking about generation. You know, you're talking about a generational talent, and you're talking about one of the most, probably the greatest right winger in Premier League history.
Well, there you go.
Salah's Salah, and they're generational.
There's the levels. Then I mean, we can do the whole world class definition thing if we want, but according to my definition,
you need to get over the line with things.
Well, that's one thing. I don't think. I think he's elite.
I think the moment against Real Madrid last year, I mean, we go on to win that Champions League. You look back at that finish, that moment after missing a penalty, that you just think, what a guy. Because we didn't get over the line, it's still very much, he's done all this work, nothing to show yet. And I think that's the only thing subconsciously even probably holding you back, everyone back from saying it.
It's not just that.
Fine.
True.
I think Kane is the anomaly, though. When people flag Kane as an example of not winning anything, and then we still call him world class, Kane was getting golden boot after golden boot after golden boot in a top league for the best part for 5, 6, 7 seasons. So despite not winning anything, I think Kane is the anomaly in that you could call Kane world class without having won a title or a trophy.
What about when people used to call Son world class during that period as well?
I didn't.
Okay, no, I thought
Yeah.
you would. That's why I asked. Because
Yeah,
around that same time, there was some was pulling out seasons as well, where people were like, he's world class, but he hasn't.
I think Son's in the same category as I put Saka. Elite talent, really effective. At that next level, I mean, world class for me is a high bar, and I just don't think either of them. For me, world class.
I said, Sharon, I said last week, my favorite thing about Saka is I think he's developing, because like he's just a great guy, isn't he, as well? But I definitely think there's an element of him. He goes out to prove wrong whatever the latest narrative was. And I was hearing a lot of, and I probably said it myself. Well, Saka's definitely the more efficient player, better with his right foot, but Madueke maybe does more against his fullback, is more of a better kind of dribbler or whatever. And then Saka really went, yeah, all right, cool. And then just, you know what I mean? Destroys Newcastle with his ball carrying and dribbling.
James
destroys Olympiacos off the bench. Good against West Ham, and then against Fulham, destroying his fullback, carrying the ball time and time and time again, going on the outside and the inside.
Destroying fullbacks though. I don't even know where that criticism.
It was there's that as well, but also the comparison was embarrassing. Madueke had a handful of decent games. They're playing two different sports. I don't understand, and it's even Arsenal fans were saying it. Madueke, you know, and I'm like, shut up.
I think what they're saying is Madueke is more like
he's a bit more explosive. That's actually no, he's not. He's not even more explosive. No.
You're right.
He is a little bit. He's a bit more chaotic. He's a bit more chaotic, isn't he? He's a little bit more like, you know, that kind of chaotic winger who can kind of just. And also, he's very, very quick, Madueke. And Saka is quick, but he's not lightning quick. I'd be interested to know the actual numbers on the pace difference. But Saka is a phenomenal ball carrier, and that's from his skill, his pace, but also his intelligence, guys. Like when he drops the shoulder, how much space he's got, whether he goes on the inside or the outside. And then when he does get on the outside, his right foot is sensational. It's one of the most underrated parts of his game, his ability to do things with both feet. I think it's sensational, and I called him world class. I think probably a bit before this, but certainly the day I saw him share a pitch twice with Vinny, Rodrigo, and Mbappe, and he was a better player on the pitch. I went, yeah, okay, yeah.
Let's just get over the line. Let's just get over the line. And then there's no conversation about a couple of these players. You could say the same for Rice against Real, 2 man of the matches, 3 kicks, but people will still argue against world-class labeling. And I get that trophies ensure that label makes sense for the majority. But listen, we've talked Fulham. We've talked enough about Fulham. It was a 1-0 win. We're top of the league. But now on to Champions League, game week 3 and our toughest test yet. We'll touch in on it, people. And obviously, we'll be back after the game out Thursday. I know we play Tuesday night, but we also play Palace on Sunday. So we've got to find that sweet spot in between. And I also want to see how the rest of the Champions League games fare on Wednesday. So maybe we get an idea of the table 3 games in and see where we're at. So far, so good. 2-0 wins across the board over the first 2 game weeks in the Champions League. 4 goals scored, 2 none conceded, sorry. And Atletico up next. Atletico, a team that started shaky this season, unusually, but they've found their feet. They haven't lost since the Liverpool game, where, you know, it was almost a great fight back, a great comeback. What Liverpool, Van Dijk header in the last minute put them to bed. But since then, they haven't lost, won majority of the games, including a 5-2 win against Real Madrid in the Madrid derby. So tough test to come at Emirates. How are you feeling about it all? Let's start with Jordan. How are we feeling? Atletico, Tuesday night.
Feeling good, man. Feeling very, very good. We know how good they are. They've not had a great start to the season, but you know, they're coming to the Emirates. We need to be treating teams, even good teams that come to the Emirates, as you're good, but you're coming to the Emirates. So, you know, put some respect on our name, sort of thing. I wouldn't say I expect us to win the game because they're a good team, but equally we have to assert ourselves. I want to get the points tally to qualify wrapped up as soon as possible. And we're playing well. We're not playing as well as I think we could and probably should, but we are playing well. Defensively, we look like we're just a machine. So this is a game where I think we should be going into it fairly confident. I'd be interested to see the lineup that he picks and plays with, because we've got Palace a few days later, and I don't think Liverpool will drop points today against Manchester United. But if they do, I wonder if that influences the team that he picks against Atletico, considering the game against Palace on the weekend. But yeah, I'm confident.
Do we go all the way strong, James?
Yeah, I don't think you rotate. Like, I think you've got to go strong. But the question is, what does that look like? Because, for example, I think this is a game for Martinelli. I don't know why I say that, because there may be a lot of low block, defending from Atletico, and actually then you want your probably cuter players in tight spaces. I just feel like Champions League night, we're gonna have to work super hard. It's going to be a bit of a battle out there, and I'd quite like Martinelli in the walls for that. Look, if it were me, I'd have Eze on the left, Werner in the 10. For me, that is the solution to Ødegaard being out. But I don't think he's going to do that. It actually wouldn't surprise me if even went Eze on the left and Marino in the 10. That wouldn't surprise me massively, just to deal with their physicality. Would I hate it? Not as much as I'd have hated it for other games, but I would still kind of hate it, because I think we need guile and creativity to break this kind of team down. You might think that set piece is going to be the answer. You might think, look, we just need to overwhelm them physically. So I don't know what he's going to do, but I have to give credit to Mikel Arteta. He's, other than Liverpool and City, which was a starting 11 thing, I think he's got everything right, from the amount of subs he's used, to the types of subs he's used, to the minutes he's done the subs, to the turning around of previous results from last season to this season. And, when the drop points are City at home, which was a draw, and Liverpool away to a stunning free kick, City did nothing but the Haaland goal in transition. He's scoring against everyone. Got to say, it's been not immaculate start, but it's been a really, really good start. And as Tosin said, and I couldn't agree more, we haven't clicked yet.
Yeah.
So I will just largely sit and trust Arteta on this one, but I do have fears about Marino midfield.
Joy, I know we've got to wrap quickly, but just before Toss comes in, the Eze thing, he wasn't good against Fulham, but I wonder if we have to try and do the whole play him into form thing. And I think that 1 minute left wing, next minute he's an 8, next minute he's a 10, then he's a left wing. That can't be helping him. So I wonder if we just got to just say, right, the next 5 games, you're playing there. Whether it's on the left, whether it's a 10, wherever he decides to play him, just pick a position, and just like for the next 5 to 10 games, while Ødegaard's out as well, you're playing there. Do you know what I mean?
You mentioned Ødegaard, and I should have mentioned him in the Fulham segment, because I actually missed Ødegaard at the end of the first half. I thought this game is missing the Ødegaard we saw in that last week before international break. But yeah, that's just something that came. Tosin, I want to ask you something that I asked my community leading up to the Fulham game and now leading up to Atletico. A few players, I mean, Zubimendi was rested against West Ham, but had to come on 30 minutes in. He's played an awful lot of games already, 90s for Spain in between as well. But there's 2 players in particular, Calafiori and Timber. I suggested maybe we rotate them for Fulham. Maybe Lewis Skelly and Mosquera come in as fullbacks. Reason being because they're 2 players that have had their injury problems. They've played a lot of minutes this season, again for Italy and Netherlands. They've played both games, and they're players that have become integral to the system. Now you look at Ben White and what's happened to him over the years, and the rumors earlier on in the week that is setbacks for him, which were cleared up come the end of the week. But Calafiori and Timber are so important. That is it time to start thinking about potentially rotating them, or are they so important that right now we can't mess around in terms of taking them out?
Yeah, I think right now you can't mess around, man. If there's one thing we know about Arteta, is that it's these periods now that he starts, you kind of get an understanding of the players he's trusting. You are my guys. So you can see Timber is, okay, you're my guy for the right back role. Calafiori, you're my guy for the left back role. So I think at this stage you don't rest him, to be honest. I think just play him. They look good. They look fit. They look strong. Arteta doesn't really like to rotate as much. I know he's going to need to this season. And I think he probably will, after the Palace game. But I think for the crunch games, I honestly don't see him changing that fullback pairing, nor do I see him changing the likes of Zubimendi or Rice, to be honest. Don't see it.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Marino too, but we'll keep it moving on to prediction. Marino, another 2 goals for Spain. I think he'll start against Atletico, but I'm confident we can get something. But it's going to be a difficult game. Arteta versus Simeone. There's a 4-4 on the cards, people. I'm telling you that. Get your bets in.
Or 0-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. I could do it.
All right, cool. Let's do prediction. None of us predicted the Fulham score, right? 1-0, but we all got close to it with our predictions. There's no table yet, people, and we've seen some of the suggestions in the comment section, and it's coming back real soon. Jordan shakes his head, but none of us got stars no more, so he's actually the most better off of us all. And
I nearly went 1-0. I was
did.
I'm between that and 2-1.
I remember. Let's do predictions. Tosin as the special guest for today's show. Arsenal home to Atletico Tuesday night. How do you think it's going to go?
I think 2-1.
2-1 Arsenal. James?
Yeah, I agree with that. 2-1 win. Hard fought.
2-1.
Yeah,
Jordan?
Alvarez.
Oh, Alvarez, yeah.
1-0.
2-1, 2-1, 1-0. Atletico. Fought back 2-0 down at Anfield. Beat Real 5-2. Haven't lost in a little while.
Can I change it?
It's still your goal, go on.
You had a bunch of research and went, not doing 1-0.
2-0.
Oh, okay, 2-0. 2-1, 2-1, 2-0. I'll go 1-0.
You know what? Can I change mine?
Nah,
Oh,
sorry, mate. It's locked in now, bro.
Can I predict a different game?
The
2-0.
cheek.
I'm going to go 2-0. I think Atletico are a good team, but we're a better team than them. I think we beat them.
I'm changing mine to 2-1 then. Why not?
James, want to change yours?
4-2. Why not keep it moving?
There's our predictions, people. Work it out amongst yourselves. And we're going to slowly but surely wrap it up. Listen, have you hit the like button? Have you hyped the vid? Have you left a comment? Are you subscribed? Not only here, but to the individual channels below. Make sure you are, people. Not only Jordan, Coolest Disabled, not only James on Gooniverse and Gooniverse News, but make sure you subscribe to Tosin as well. He's going to be a lot more active. He's going to be on here a lot more across the season too. And that's all the links are in the description below. So show some love. It's family, people. And from Big Six to Loose Cannon. So come on, big up Tosin. Comments of the day. I've got a few. I know we've got to rattle through them quickly. But yeah, are we ready to go, Jordan?
Before we go into they were just unbelievable comments. Thank you all for just the kind words of support, and also they killed me. I was genuinely laughing, giggling at my phone. My favorite was the no face, no case scarf.
I saw that one.
It was just elite, but yeah.
Nah, the top comment, I know the top comment was the best. It came in so early. Never been so happy to see Jordan in my life, man. The release in that comment is just...
It's so disrespectful, but heartwarming.
Yeah,
I mean, it was wholesome but rude.
2,200 likes. A lot of people agree.
There you go.
Some people's videos don't get 2,200 likes. This comment got it.
True. I've got a couple. We all know the Forever Pods was disbanded to deny Jordan his first star. Honestly, well done, Turkish haters. Jordan's like the Gilberto Silva of the panel. You don't realize how important he is until he's gone.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Great.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thanks. I think. And then another one that I liked. Honestly, guys, this is my first time commenting. I've had a bad start to the day, and I'm about to drive home early afternoon. The best thing I could do is stay away from physical human interaction. So I opened up YouTube to listen to a podcast and saw this show. I've never been so happy to see you guys on my screen. It's a shame it's missing the fourth member. As Jordan would say, he who shan't be named. But having you is much better than no show at all. Very, very nice comment. Thank you very much.
Big up to Lee, though. Just worth saying.
Man. Shout out Lee, man. Family.
But yeah, and it's really important we stress this. When they're so overwhelming in terms of comments, and it means the world to us, we genuinely see them all because it's a pleasure scrolling through. So please don't think if we haven't replied or liked that maybe it's kind of been missed or been lost. Absolutely not. And some of them really stood out to me were the ones where people have been going through really tough times. And I've never had this connection to a podcast. I'm kind of learning that when people are saying, I'm going through things and it's listening to you guys that help. I'm blown away by that. I'm like, I'm just having a great time talking football, and I love seeing what the community say and react to. And then, like, to hear that it's actually helping some of you in a different way. I know we kind of had felt that before, but just for those comments too, it's not lost. Trust me. Like, and I'm sorry, I don't always have the time to get back and reply properly, because also I don't like half-ass replying. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. Hope you're good. No, like, so just know it really is appreciated, and we take it all in.
Yeah, I'm motivating at that. I've got 3 comments here. Let me get them in. Dan said it's the easiest subscribe I've ever hit in my life. We are so back. We'll miss Lee though, but this is good enough. Yeah, we will. Whiplash said, get Tosin. He's great with his analysis, and it might wind up Tobes. Here he is. Here he is. Requested name a few times in the comment section. My last one here from Skullfuggery. Forever in our hearts. And I like that. Onwards.
That's a good one.
Onwards and upwards, people, and you can't go onwards or upwards whilst looking backwards. So that's what we're doing here, people. So hopefully you can do the same. Tosin, pleasure. Let them know where they can find you. It's going to be in the description anyway, but talk to them.
Yeah. So change the channel name, AFC Tosin. Very, very simple. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. I'm jumping back on this stuff.
Come on.
Pray for you guys.
AFC Tosin, there you go. You already know what it is with James. You already know what it is with Jordan. The links are in the description. I'm here. Subscribe here. The Big Six as well. If you haven't seen it, back your chat. London is red. It's out now. Go watch it,
mate. That was good. You did well, because they, fair play.
Yeah.
You did really well. And that Rory intro. I thought I was watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, the way he said, everything you say from here, you're wrong, my friend. Well, Rory's he's an actor, man. He knows what to say. And that was the first one where the public knew what the topic was. So a few people came research ready to go. There was a 20-year-old talking about Henry Norris 100 years ago.
I saw that.
I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, go watch that, people. And the mob is live 4 p.m. for obviously Liverpool versus Man United. Me, Grizz, Saeed, and Matisse will be there. So make sure you're there. Show Tosin some love. Show the pod some love. Like, hype, subscribe. We'll be back after Atletico, after all the Champions League game this Thursday to review Atletico and look at Crystal Palace, another big game in the Premier League. Love for the love, people. As always, we really mean it. We'll be back Thursday. Peace. We're out. See you soon.